Guys, I just ran across some stuff today that was very, very interesting. This refers to the Decarlos Brown. If you recall, a few weeks ago in Charlotte, there was a very violent crime that was committed by a career criminal that unalived a lady that had tried to escape a war-torn country because she was in a very unsafe environment and thought, well, I'll come to America and I'll be safe and I can thrive there. And didn't fare out so well for her. And what I'm talking about is this Decarlos Brown comes from a career criminal family. The whole family syndicate. His father, his brother, his sister, all these people were involved in multiple crimes spanning years. I'm going to show you the article, and then I'm going to talk to you about a few other little things when I do that. But stick around. Don't forget to hit the like and stuff and all that fancy dancy things. And thank you all. Here we go. This is straight out of the story where you can't make this stuff up. No joke, dude. So the alleged person who unalived this 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee on a train was revealed as a member of a family riddled with crime and criminal records. Decarlos Brown Jr., you see here in this image I've got pulled up. 34 years old, is a career criminal and a schizophrenic accused of stabbing Irina Zaruska on a light rail train in Charlotte, North Carolina. Siblings and father have a lengthy criminal record, and I'm only the laugh comes from the awkward irony, not the situation. Just like here we are again with just complete and utter failure when it comes to dealing with criminals the way they should be dealt with. And yes, you could say, well, the guy's not right in the head, but that doesn't. What we've got here is a man who's definitely well enough to know right from wrong, and So, giving you some imagery to work with here. Here's his brother. The crime family's history of offenses was revealed through court records that law enforcement documents Brown Jr.'s brother, Stacy. They gave that dude a name, Stacy. So I'm gonna get neck tattoos and face tattoos. Don't call me Stacy. You're gonna call me S Rail or S Dog or something. I mean, in October 12th, he unalived a 65-year-old man and used the Charlotte light rail to escape police. It didn't, of course, didn't pay his fare either. Jumped over the little thing, hopped on the train, and skedaddled. But he was apprehended, and he pleaded guilty in April of 2014 to second-degree unalivement and 2 counts of armed robbery, assault with an intent to unalive somebody, and breaking into a motor vehicle. More than likely, that was how the whole thing got started. He was probably breaking into somebody's vehicle. I don't know, I'm just kind of alleging. And the person was like, hey, don't be in my car. Don't be in my car. Or like from the movie Sling Blade, what are you doing in my car? Why'd you break into my car for? And he turns around and things get kind of heated. Move on to some more imagery here. As you can see, it says the brother was sentenced to 27 to 36 years in prison, according to the Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office. While in prison, Brown received 44 infractions, including crimes such as assaulting someone with a deadly weapon, setting a fire, theft of property, and lock tampering. He also had served probation for a conviction in 2010 for threats against the government or assault, according to North Carolina's prison database. So the brother definitely way out there in left field. Here's the sister. I don't know if this is the same sister that was involved in the phone call and Decarlos was like he had some kind of material in him that made him do stuff. I still want to know what that was about. I want that. I would think that would be a focal point of part of this investigation is like, what were you talking about? How do you know you have some substance in your body? The only reason why I said it is because I lean in towards the fact that people have been modified with Fauci jabs when their DNA has been scrambled by CRISPR technology. Anyways, but that's another video. Decarlos' sister, 33-year-old Tracy Von Trey Brown, has a criminal record that includes larceny, felony conspiracy, vehicle theft, resisting public officers, misdemeanor, shoplifting, and most recently an arrest in 2024 for felony conspiracy, shoplifting, and misdemeanor larceny. The father of the family, Decarlos Brown Sr., has been arrested as well, reportedly breaking and entering felony charges, larceny, possession of a weapon on a university campus in 1990. By the way, the father's in all kind of trouble, too. He's been long since. Decarlos Jr. has at least 14 arrests. We all know about that. It goes back to his things. And it's funny how the media says he allegedly stabbed Zaruska. I think by the video that we've seen there, it's a pretty good pretty good odds that really, and then, then him walking up and down on the light rail train going, I got that white girl. I got that white girl. I got that white girl. So I think that, like, we could say that it's a good chance he probably perpetrated his crime. Last but not least, I want to take just a minute. There's a lot of people who have watched my video that I did last night, saw my thumbnail, and I know there's a lot of people out there who are just going to follow Trump and follow the FBI because Trump, this is one of his appointments and all that stuff. And so it may probably put you in a little bit of a disposition when you hear me talk like that, because I voted for Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. I want to see America be made great again. However, I got to call the balls and strikes where I see it. And I've done a lot of deep dives into what happened to Charlie Kirk and the evidence that's been brought forth and some of the actions that's followed by the FBI and other officials that has led me to believe that there's something far bigger at play here that needs to be talked about, that nobody's talking, very few people are talking about. And I'm going to find out more today as this transpires. But I really think that people out there who are blindly following along just because these are the people that, well, I voted for Trump. You need to be awake. You need to be aware of what your surroundings are. And I think that when I sit back and see how the FBI ground agents withheld evidence from not only Kash Patel but the public when they said we've got a suspect, we've got images of him, but we're not going to release it. Well, if you're looking for the guy, you probably should release the images, because this guy might be sitting next to you in a chair for all you know, and for whatever reason they wouldn't release those images. And the guy that jumps off the roof, they said, oh, he had a firearm and he broke this firearm down and he carried it in a bag or something like that. Well, the weapon he used isn't very easily disassembled either. And when you reassemble it to, like, say, for instance, to get it up on the roof, it's not going to be inside anymore. It's going to have to be recalibrated. And if you disassemble it, it takes a lot of time on the roof to get it in that bag, to get down the roof, which I didn't even see a bag with the guy jumping off the roof. So whoever that guy was jumping off the roof, for whatever reason, then the firearm is reassembled and then put in a box and covered with a blanket. None of that adds up. There's so many things that don't add up. I'm not saying that the guy didn't do it, that there's some people there that didn't do it, but I feel like there's another instance to where there's way larger players that were playing a part of this to make this all a thing. I can only scratch my head, literally. I don't have an answer yet, but for some odd reason, in my honest opinion, I think that the FBI that's behind the scenes knows a lot more and won't say anything, because there's probably very large players that's all controlling the thing. And I don't think Kash Patel has control over the FBI. And I hate to say this because I want to have faith in what we've got here is better than what it is, but I don't think Kash Patel is very trustworthy. I don't think that he's really good at his job, and I think that Dan Bongino has flubbed this to death, and I think Pam Bondi is complicit. I think there's way too much that could be done, because I'm going to give you a really good example before I wrap things up. Kash Patel has been firing good agents and getting them out of the way. And then they say, well, we've got bad actors that still exist in the FBI, and it takes time to get those out. Let me explain something to you. Do you recall when the Biden regime was running stuff that they could just fire and hire anybody they wanted to within a matter of seconds? If they didn't like you, what you were doing, you were out. There was no red tape. There was no complicated paperwork. There was no process. So, something's wrong here. And I don't know. I don't have enough information to put my finger on it, but I feel like that there is a problem. And I think that that's all I'm going to say. Don't hate me for what I'm saying. Just take my word and do a little research for yourself. Come to your own conclusions. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful rest of the day.